Welcome, guys, to another live episode. So today's episode is going to be very interesting. We're going to be talking about UFOs, aliens, and are they real? So recently, I was looking across my Twitter feed, and I came across, and you've pretty much seen it. It's kind of hilarious, where there was aliens discovered in Mexico, in the Mexico governmental, what they call it, government hearing, whatever the stuff it is. And I was checking it out. And I was like, whoa. It's crazy. If aliens are real, that's being said. So I kind of did some digging, and we're actually just going to be watching videos, guys, and kind of taking a look, because I'm not going to give my conclusion of if aliens are real or not, because then again, I think we live in a universe that is a very big, ginormous universe. So you be the judge, and you let me know. Do you believe and do you think aliens are real, or if not? Well, my job right now is just to we're gonna kind of just go through it right now, and we're gonna do some digging and see. We're gonna do some digging if aliens are real or if aliens are not real. You let me know.
No hay una evolución posterior.
So this is just for context, give you guys some context. So I found this is basically, there was a guy that's basically in this video here. So he's basically revealing, he presented some samples to the Mexican government, and he's basically unveiling this, and this was in 12th of September when this came out. So this is the alien, and they're zooming into it and seeing if this alien is. I mean, to me, it kind of looks hilarious. So if you ask me, it looks like it's blowing a kiss. I don't know. Someone tell me in Spanish, like if you what's the translation of what the guy's saying?
Alrededor de 1000 años de antigüedad. Es decir,
yeah, I guess I actually saw someone was like, yeah, this is a what do you call it? Somebody said this is a, what is this word again? It's like a bunch of bones molded up together. People are questioning who this guy is, if this guy is actually legit. There's been rumors on like the guy's credibility and stuff. But I don't know. You guys let me know what do you think as far as what do you think? And I think I have one with a translation here, and this is from the New York Post.
Humanos que no son parte de nuestra evolución terrestre y que después de desaparecer no hay una evolución posterior. De acuerdo a la Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, quien realizó los análisis de carbono 14, estos seres tienen
So he's saying that this is 1,000 years old, and this was done by university. I also did some research, and then someone said that the university didn't actually do the study, so it's kind of like a question as far as if this is legit or not.
1000 años de antigüedad. Es decir, no se trata de seres que fueron recuperados en naves que son estrellamientos, sino son seres que estaban sepultados en minas de diatomea, tierra de diatomea. La diatomea es una alga fosilizada con 17 millones de antigüedad. Es fitoplancton que abundaba en aquel tiempo.
Yeah, so I don't know, guys. This kind of seems a little weird to me to say like this is a I don't know. It just seems weird to me if you ask me, as far as like the just looking at it. But yeah, it came across my Twitter feed, and I was like, hey, let's do some digging, guys. So I found this video, which is funny. This is kind of hilarious. This is just me, just plug this one in there. And I want to title this is what the alien was doing before the alien
just
was
about
found.
4:45, and take a look at this viral video from La Junta in southeastern Colorado. All right, Vivian Gomez wrote on Facebook that her security camera captured this on Sunday morning. There are people on Facebook who say it looks like Dobby from Harry Potter or a ghost.
Come on, that doesn't look realistic. I don't know what is it doing? Is it doing like a? That's just, I don't know. Like that seems to me like somebody's wearing a costume, right? But it could be. I don't know what you guys. That just to me seems like someone is actually just wearing a costume. So to me, it might just be a costume. Someone's wearing a costume, or what legit? What do you guys think that is? Because I'm just like, I'm just kind of like this. It's funny. Just honestly watching that.
Or a kid in flip-flops and underwear. We think it looks like Lisa doing her Sunday morning dance. I don't know. Yeah? Lisa, were you in La Junta?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to take this seriously though, because it's like, you're an alien coming into the planet and doing a.
Give it away.
I mean, it's probably been watching a lot of Chris. I was like, hey, that's a Chris Brown fan right there. That alien seems like it's probably a Chris Brown fan. You never know. But because he's doing the dance, he's probably watched a bunch of Chris Brown dance moves or whatever it is. I don't know. That's just like some, I don't even know what to call it, but that to me just seems a little interesting. All right. So we're kind of interesting. So I want to read this article. So this was an article by ABC7. Now then again, guys, do I 100% trust the media as far as whatever they report on? I don't really like to say I trust the media on anything that they say. I mean, it's kind of like stuff that they say that you kind of be careful of. But obviously, I say believe in doing your own independent research. So it says scientists call on the supposed what do you call it? Let's exit out of this Mexican Congress thing. So there's gonna be, oh my god, the amount of ads, the jeez. So Mexico City says supposed aliens in Mexico, and then apparently, so this session unprecedented. You gotta say that word. Unprecedented in the Mexican Congress took place 2 months after a similar one before the U.S. Congress, in which a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer claimed his country has probably been aware of non-human activity since 1930s. That's what they say. I mean, you guys know of Area 51, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's all UFOs. I don't know, maybe. But Mexican journalist Jose Jaime Mozan presented 2 boxes with supposed mummies found in Peru, which he and others considered non-human beings that are not part of the Israel. The shriveled bodies with shrunken, wrapped heads. It's the queen of all evidence. Mozan claimed that if the DNA is showing us that they are non-human beings and there is nothing that looks like this in the world, we should take it as such. But it warned that he didn't want to refer them as extraterrestrials just yet. Okay, which is interesting. So apparently desiccated bodies date back to 2017. So apparently they found this in 2017 and were found deep on the ground in the sandy Peruvian coastal desert in Nazca. The area is known for gigantic, enigmatic figures scraped into the earth and seen only from a bird's eye view. Okay, which is interesting. So apparently in 2017, Mozan made similar claims in Peru, and a report by the country's prosecutor's office found that the bodies were actually recently. So, okay, so which is interesting. So they said that he made the same claims that he's basically making in Mexico back in Peru. And in 2017, Mozan made similar claims in Peru, and a report by the country's prosecutor's office found that the bodies were actually recently manufactured dolls, which have been covered with a mixture of paper and synthetic glue to simulate the presence of skin. Okay, that's interesting. And the report added that the figures were almost certainly human-made, and that they are not the remains of ancestral aliens that they have tried to present. The bodies were not publicly unveiled at the time, blah, blah, blah. But on Wednesday, Joelita Federo, researcher at the Institute of Astronomy at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, was among this to express skepticism. Now, then again, we never know. Maybe it is actually aliens. I don't know. I personally don't know. We're literally just kind of looking at this right now to see if legit, is it actually aliens or what? But Fedor added that the researchers claimed that her university endorsed the supposed so she's saying that he said that that the researchers claimed that her university endorsed the supposed discovery were false, so they didn't actually endorse it, and noted that scientists would need more advanced technology than X-rays they claimed to use to determine if the allegedly calcified bodies were non-human. I mean, then again, if I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't look like any human I know, right? But Mozan has done many things. He says he talked to the Virgin of Guadalupe. She said he told the extraterrestrials to not talk to me like they talk to him because I don't believe in them. Okay, so it just kind of goes into like the hoax of like, and which is also interesting. We're actually going to cover this. So in the U.S. in July, retired Major David Grush alleged that the U.S. is considered a longstanding I don't even know about this. Is kind of interesting. Now we're just kind of diving into like UFO stuff. But I want to cover this article, guys, and you guys just basically be the judge and let me know what you think about this. So apparently this was also covered by, I can't remember what news network covered this, but I think it was CNBC, or I don't think it was CNBC. I think it was
videos recorded by U.S.
Navy.
Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs. For the first time, radar images recorded inside a Navy ship have confirmed the presence of several unknown objects that swarmed around the ship for hours. I-Team reporter George Knapp here with a story that broke today on Mystery Wire.
Thanks, Brian. Over the past 3 years or so, the public has been able to see several astounding images of what certainly qualify as UFOs during encounters with the U.S. Navy. There's no question that the Pentagon has censored data to go along with the photos and videos, but none of that information has been leaked or otherwise.
So I don't know if this is classified or disclaimed. I don't even know, guys. This is just to me. It's on YouTube, so you can find it. It's called Radar Confirms UFO Swarm.
Released. That is until today. For 2 long hours on the night of July 15, 2019, the crew of the USS Omaha detected on multiple sensor systems unknown objects that surrounded the ship as it moved through ocean waters west of San Diego. One of the objects, a self-illuminated sphere at least 6 feet in diameter, flew alongside the Omaha for an extended period and was observed through a thermal sensor in the ship's combat center. Filmmaker Jeremy Corbell released the Navy video weeks ago and says similar events were reported by 8 other Navy ships in the same area over 3 days.
Mark bearing and range.
There was numerous warships that are having similar it appears to be coordinated interaction, and this whole series was within this kind of, I'd say, circumference of 100 miles, and there was up to 50 to 100 contacts.
In the last 3 years, the Pentagon has reluctantly confirmed the legitimacy of UFO images captured by Navy ships and air crews, including these photos taken off the coast of Virginia and the better-known videos, the so-called Tic Tac incident and the gimbal. But other than the images themselves...
So what's interesting, I don't know, guys. This to me is kind of a little weird if you're looking at it from a perspective. I'm like, it's like saying that there's aliens swarming ships and stuff. I don't know. I've never seen a UFO before, so I can't really attest to this. I don't know if but then again, I don't know. It's like, what do you think? If aliens are real, wouldn't they just like show themselves and be like, "Hey, we are here to take over your planet, and you will give us all your resources"? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm just kind of like, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of like conspiracy theory, because this is not a conspiracy theory podcast. I legit just talk about things I want to talk about, and to me, this is kind of exciting because I saw it on Twitter and I was like, okay, well, I guess we will talk about the alien thing and see if the aliens and stuff. But it's like you kind of see, and then you're like, well, is this real? Is this not real? I mean, I know, which is kind of interesting. This was maybe back in 2016, 2017. It was like, and which is interesting because I can't find any videos of this on the internet, which I'm like, it's weird how no one recorded it. But it was just like a really light blue light. It's like a blue light just across the sky, across the horizon. And it was just a really bright blue light. And then I think articles came out, but I can't find the articles. It's not worth my time to dig into it. But articles. So if you guys want to dig into it and send it to me, be like, hey, Emmanuel, I've actually found the articles to tell you that aliens are real. Hey, you guys can send it in. My email's in there. You can email it to me, and if you think it's legit, I'll actually talk about it, and I'll cite you as a source on the on one of the podcast episodes. But it was just like a blue weird, and then they said it was some testing stuff going on. Like I said, it's not something that I think is fascinating. I mean, the way I look at it is this: if aliens are real. Let's say they are. Aliens are real. And they've been to this planet. Let's say hypothetically, they've been to the planet and they're probably here. Then let's look at it from a perspective as to if they're here. Oh, remember the video of the lady that was like, she saw lizard people and stuff in the airplane? She's kind of also funny as well. But think about it, if they're here and they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, then we wouldn't know. Because then again, it's like we wouldn't know because they would just blend in, right? Maybe they have technology to look like human beings. You never know. But it's also kind of like, you also look at it from a perspective as to what would be the purpose, right? Because now the only reason where I was actually looking at this, someone was like, this is kind of like I said, guys, we're just kind of chit chat here. We're just having a conversation. So someone was saying something and I was kind of trying to think about what it was, but he was like, the concept of time. So our concept of time is basically having to do with the Earth's axis and the rotation around the sun, right? So how we rotate around the sun, because it determines pretty much our time. So outside of time and space, there is no time. There is time. The concept of time is very relative, right? So I was like, okay, that sounds way above my head, and I may be wrong. So if you're a scientist and you know about all this stuff, feel free to correct me, right? And he was like, well, it's all about like things that have happened in the past, things that have happened in space. We're looking at the past. So I was like, what does that mean? I was like, think about it. So it's like how many, so there's like, I'm gonna think about it. Let's look at a planet. How long will it take to get to Jupiter? So and then I'll use that as an example. To get to Jupiter. So I think it's all in light years. So it is how many light years? Oh, it says so depending on whether you're the Jupiter 546 days to 242 days. Okay. How many light years? I don't know, years. How many light years is the galaxy or something? I don't know. Something like that. I'm losing you guys here, honestly, because I'm just like it's funny to me. Is away. So how many light years away is Pluto? Right. Let's look at that. So Pluto is 3 point. Oh, it's weird. It's weird how you when you look at data and it's like super confusing because it's saying Pluto is 0.00624 light years nearly. I this is like some space. It's going above my head. How many light years away is Pluto? I don't know, however many light years. But the way it was explained to me was pretty simple. It was like he said everything is pretty much communicated in concept of how long is something going to take, right? So he's like, okay, let's say to go to another galaxy is 2 million light years. So I was like, why is it light years? So apparently it's how long light takes to travel, right? I'm like, this is super confusing to me. But listen, I'm going to do my best to explain this as scientific as possible as you're watching this on a Saturday, yeah. So so in the sense it's a light year. So it's like he's like, imagine if aliens are like in another planet, right? And they're 2 million light years away, and they're looking at a telescope and they're looking at Earth. That means that they basically, for them to see what they're seeing is basically 2 million years. So it's going to take 2 million years for them to actually see what's in there. So what they're currently seeing will be dinosaurs. I was like, okay, dude, now you lost me. And you guys, I'm confused. But basically, all it's saying is, if you're out of space looking in, whatever you're looking at is basically the past. I'm just like, interesting. I don't know how valid that information is, but basically, let's consider that valid. You guys, let me know. What do you think about aliens? What do you think? Do you think aliens are real? Do you think aliens are something in which are among us? Right? Let me know. What do you guys think? Cite sources and resources as far as articles, and please don't be like conspiracy theory and just dropping all sorts of information. I actually want legit stuff because, as you guys know, I'm just fascinated by this. That's my whole thing. And if aliens are real, if you actually have to dig in for proof, you know what? Where is it? Right? Where's the proof that all this stuff is real? I really want to know. I'm just think about it from a curious person. I'm a very, very curious individual. Right? So let's look at this, which is interesting. So apparently there was a congressional hearing about talking about aliens. I can't believe we're actually talking about this. This is just funny.
Thank you.
But all right, so
Chairman Grothman, Ranking Member Garcia, distinguished members of the House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security, Representatives Burchett and Luna. My name is Ryan Fobbs Graves, and I'm a former F-18 pilot with a decade of service in the U.S. Navy, including 2 deployments in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Inherent Resolve. I have experienced advanced UAP firsthand, and I'm here to voice the concerns of more than 30 commercial aircrew and military veterans who have confided their similar encounters with me. Today, I would like to highlight 3 critical issues that demand our action. As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses. It is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony. Parts of our government are aware
you guys
of
can go watch this whole thing. Like I said, it's gonna get a little political, and I don't do politics here. But you can go watch it. Like I said, there's gonna be references to it. You can just go ahead and look up the congressional stuff. You can be able to find. You can go ahead and pretty much find that data. But we're not really gonna go ahead and dive too much into the hearing per se. Like I said, I just found that article, found it, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let's look at it. But he's getting too much into the point in which I'm like, it's getting out of the realm of what is the focus of this. So what is the takeaway from this, right? The takeaway from this is to understand that there is a deep desire for people to believe that there is something else that's out there. There's that human curiosity where we want to know that there's something else out there. There's that deep curiosity where we want to kind of see as to, are aliens real? Can we, why haven't they revealed themselves? because you got to think, this is another thing I would think about. Let's say we play a devil's advocate and say aliens are real. If they are, you don't want to, or if they reveal themselves, then it doesn't make any sense to reveal it to the population, because it's going to destroy law and order in society. Because you got to look at it from a perspective of people are now going to, it's gonna make people question a lot of things, right? And it's gonna destabilize. It's gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be like religion. It's gonna talk to people about religion. It's gonna get political. It's gonna get all this point. So in a way, it's like it's a huge can of worms if aliens are. Plus, honestly, here's my thing: whether they are or not, there's nothing that it really is gonna change, unless they declare like some, like what's Independence Day, and then they declare all-out war or something like that. Nothing's gonna change. Legit. So your life is just going to continue as it is. If you wherever you are right now, it's still going to be wherever you are right now. They're not going to come in and put money in your pocket. So these are fancy stuff to talk about. And the reason why I'm even bringing it up was because the story was fascinating to me, and I did some research into it. And I was like, hey, you know what? I've already spent the time researching, and might as well just bring it up and talk to you guys. It's going to be a very, very short episode. Like I said, guys, I'm not a big fan of how it dives into the conspiracy theory and stuff. We talk about business, talk about money. But hey, let me know what you guys think about the alien stuff. That's pretty much what I'm going to do today. Like I said, it's going to be a very, very short episode on alien. And then we bring you guys some more fire episode. And we have some cool guests lined up for the rest of the month. But thanks again, guys. Everyone enjoy your weekend.